Okay. So back to a minute 44 seconds ago when you're like, holy shit, everything is changing. Like you stayed till 3 a.m. Like let's go back. Tell me about that right now.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah, so like literally the last 10 days have been absolutely insane, right? So I crushed it for the franchise guy, right? Absolutely crushed it for him. And he goes to this conference and like he's literally telling because of the referral scheme, he's telling everybody about this, like everyone, right? Absolutely everybody. And literally the bookings are coming in on the chatbot while he's there. So people are like going like, what's this? Like, what the hell is this? Oh my God. Like, what is this? And he's like, yeah, this is my guy, man. Ads Grow Business, John Henry Williams from the UK, crushing it. So then I've got people getting on Zoom calls with me from the conference in their hotel room, right?
Shit.
Yeah, so like literally, it's like people just in hotel rooms at this massive conference in Denver.
Yeah,
and literally just getting on Zoom calls with me and just sending me money, man. Like boom, boom, boom. But then it gets even crazier, right? So the guy gets back from Denver, yeah. By now, I'm like getting like a couple of locations booked out, right? There's a few people signed up, and what they've got is they've got their own chat channel on the CRM. They've got like a CRM, and they've got their own like network, and they can talk to each other. And so the guys are in there going, oh my God, I've just like hit like $4,000 with my guy, John Williams, Ads Grow Business. And the guy's like, literally, it's literally like the comments, like, can you give me this guy's number? Can you give me this guy's number? Can you give me this guy's number?
Yeah.
And then they've got a private Facebook group as well. And they're in there going, oh my God, like I just started with John Williams last week. I'm already at $800 after 3 days. This is insane. And so like my Calendly, my scheduler just went like nuts. Like instantly it was just like, boom, you are now booked out every single day from say 2 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever time. And till 2 a.m. some days. It's just absolutely insane. I'm booked out next week. I'm still booked out next week.
Yeah.
I've got an extra $13,000 of proposals that everybody said to me, yeah, we'll pay you. We just got to wait till the end of the month.
Yeah.
So we could be talking about 25, 30K, man. Easy.
So, all right. So like when I put up the post, you're like, Jeff, holy shit, I just hit 10K. Send me my shirt. This is crazy. This is working. And then the conference happened. And then you're like, Jeff, it's actually 15. And then now you're like, it might be 20.
Yeah.
Right? Like it just went like that real fucking fast.
Like overnight, like literally just went like that.
That is absolutely nuts. And so to backtrack a little bit, right? You've been in the inner circle for like 4 months, 3 months, something like that, right?
No, I think like I joined in like May, June, I think.
Okay, so like half a year, right?
Yeah.
And when you started, did you have any clients who were just thinking about an ad agency? You weren't really sure. Like, where were you like 6 months ago?
So like literally, like I was working in an engineering company. I'd been there for many years, and most of the people there weren't particularly nice people. And it was quite a toxic atmosphere. And I'd reached the kind of peak of my career at that point. And like the money was all right, but it wasn't like amazing. It wasn't like mind blowing. And it kind of dawned on me, like, this is how it's going to be for the rest of my life till I'm 65, 70, like working in this corporate environment, being told how many days a year holiday I'm allowed to take and having to ask permission to take them. And I thought, man, there's got to be something more than this. There's got to be. So I started looking into different options. And, there's things that you can do like drop shipping. You can open an Amazon store. But the idea of trying to sell like 5,000 iPhone cases for $5, you know what I mean? It wasn't really that appealing, man. I was just like, nah, I'm not feeling this. So anyway, I come across this video on Facebook. It was an ad, and it was sort of saying like, how would you like to change your life, live on your own terms, work from any country in the world, make more money than you've ever made. And like, it was like, the ad copy was incredible. And I thought, yeah, that's what I want to do, man. That sounds amazing. Clicked on it. And this guy explained the sort of Facebook ads agency business model. And that's when the penny dropped. I was like, oh my God, like literally it makes total sense. Of course, a local business is going to give you $1,000-$2,000 a month.
Yep.
If you're generating them a return on investment, getting them bookings and making them money, it makes sense. And I kind of worked it out, and I was like, gosh, man, like the overheads are like almost zero. You just need a laptop, and like shit, I only need like a handful of clients, and like I'm going to be making like double like what I used to make in my old job.
Yep.
Right. So I get on a call with these guys, and they want like $6-7 grand to do the course. And as great as it sounded at that point in my life, like I just didn't have access to that kind of money, right?
Yep.
And then I started like doing as much training as I could and searching stuff out and trying to teach myself. And then the real sort of game changer happened. And then I'm not just saying this, like that's when I discovered the group that we're in now, the free group.
Yeah, the Buck group. Yeah, this one right here, this group. Yeah,
this group, your free group, right? And like the videos that you were putting up back then, and I'm sure they're still there. And if anyone's watching this, like literally type in Jeff Miller at the top and backtrack and look at all the videos. Because I mean, I was literally blown away, because the great thing about you is that it's not that much about the technical side of things, like how to use like Ads Manager. This was videos about like the business side of things. Yep. Right. And this wasn't even just about like running a Facebook agency. This is like general, regardless of what business you're running. This was like amazing, you know, like having a guarantee, having a referral scheme, all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, oh my God. I was just like, like, this is incredible. This guy is fucking amazing. Like this, oh my God. And then I actually bought the customer research mini module.
Nice. Good choice.
And it blew me away, man.
Isn't that crazy?
I was like, oh my God, right. This is amazing.
For anybody watching, something that I learned in like my MBA program at Intel and Ericsson was like, you never really know your future client or customer. Like you can guess, right? And you can spend like $100,000 a month trying to figure it out, or you can do a survey. And Intel and Ericsson was always big about surveys, always survey your clients, your customers, stuff like that. And so when I started my agency, I was like, I don't know how to do bike shops or car washes or anything that's not like a chiropractor or a dentist or a gym, right? I was like, what am I supposed to do? I go back to my trainings at Intel. I read a book by Ryan Levesque, and I realize that if you do Facebook ads a certain way, you can run customer research to write your ads. And it's like, holy crap. Like you realize that the biggest roadblock that you have is like, I don't know what to put in the ad. And then you run customer research, so like, you don't have to worry about that. They'll write your ad for you. You're like, what? What? Right? And you are getting mind blown by it. John Michael is getting mind blown by it. I still get mind blown by it. There's people just right there sort of like, holy shit, this is like cheating, right? Like you don't have to spend like 10 grand on a copywriting course and study copyright for 8 months. You're like 2 weeks and $50, you're done. So that's kind of like the customer research thing. So I'm super psyched that like it cracked your brain open. You're like, holy shit, it's possible. So you buy the mini module thing, you spend the $97, and then what?
Yeah, so like I bought that, and I was just like, wow, this is like incredible. And then the inner circle opens up, and I was just like, yeah, I'm getting involved in this, man. And like that's when the stuff really started to happen for me. The community is incredible. The people in there are amazing. Some of the most talented, skilled, yet helpful and most friendly people in the world in there, you know, and they really know this stuff. And these are people that will get on a Zoom call with you and they'll sort your shit out, man. And it's like, you know, and it's amazing. It really is. It's incredible, you know, and I've made some amazing friends in there as well. And your training course is great. And then that's kind of like really when the sort of penny dropped and everything kind of clicked. But however, like my journey went a bit sideways after that. I started playing around in groups, and I developed this system where I could get in there, get like a load of contacts, get my messenger blowing up, get banned from the group.
You and David, you guys are starting shit. Like you're like, oh man, I'm joining this group, and like 30 minutes later you're banned. But you have like 60 people hitting your calendar in like 3 minutes or less. I remember you guys are like, we're going to try this out. I was like, good luck. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And like, ultimately, like it worked, man. I got like a whole bunch of clients and stuff. And but I was getting like really weird clients. Like I had one client, he's got like a cooking website that does artificial intelligence and stuff. And the guy just wanted to run a competition for a couple of months. It was great. But still, it wasn't what I intended to do, like local lead generation. I had some local lead gen clients on and off, but like the majority of, I had like an e-commerce woman. She's like a stay-at-home mom in America, and like it's like her little plaything, and she ran some ads for like a couple of months. It's just like, and then like what happened next was I was like, okay, I need to backtrack out of this like a little bit, and I need to get back on point and get on the roads that I need to be going down, because like my revenue was going up and down. I could have like an 8K month, then I could have like a 2K month. Somebody could, I had like a real estate company in America, and they had like 95% of their apartments rented already, and they just wanted to do like brand awareness. So it was kind of like, okay, so that we'll pay you $3,000 for like 2 months, and you'll do some brand. Thanks a lot for that. Cheers. Bye. And I was like, I need to get this thing back on track, right? So that's when I sort of developed the system where I could run ads and target any industry in the world, basically, and get my calendar built out and scheduled and filled up with bookings. And that's in the inner circle now, that expert training.
Which is like, I remember when we filmed that, and I was like, John's gonna make a fuck ton of money. Like,
it's like amazing, isn't it? It's like, I remember, what's really cool about that? You were like, like we'll wait till like spring, and then like, when you've made a fuck ton of money and like spring, and we'll do an interview, and it's like not even the end of January yet. And like, here we are.
So let's backtrack. So you're working an engineering job. You're in London, and you're like, salaries suck. I don't have to deal with people telling me what I'm supposed to fucking do. Is this my whole life? And you start looking at like a couple ads hit you, and they're like, yeah, I'm in 6, 7K. You're like, I can't afford that. Join the group, $97 to customers who join the inner circle. Cool. Your first client, how did you get in touch with them? What was that conversation like? How much did they pay you? Do you remember that conversation? Wasn't it like you had like a yacht guy or something like that? Was that you or no?
No, I did have a yacht guy briefly.
Gotcha.
But like I think the first one that I had was like a hypnotherapist.
That's right.
Yeah, and like essentially like it basically I met her, and that basically we got on a Zoom call like this. Mm-hmm. You shouted at me for a while, told me to go to networking events, actually went on Google and found the networking event, shouted at me a bit more and told me like, look, I've even found the networking events, now go, or I'm going to be even shouting at you even more. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And it's in the inner circle. I remember I went to that first event. I came back with all these business cards. I was just like, this is amazing. Wow. Yeah. And I got a meeting with like a hypnotherapist, and she signed up for like $1,000, and we did like a month's worth of campaigns. We were just getting things off the ground. And then it turned out that because of the legalities of her franchise, she wasn't able to work with me anymore.
Okay.
So all right. That was the first.
But it wasn't a free trial. She paid you money, right?
Yeah, of course, man, because Jeff, you told me don't do free trials. And this, you know what? This was the thing about those early videos of yours that I watched, which was so mind-blowing. Everyone else is telling you to do like free trials. Everybody's telling you to do. And then suddenly it's like, there's this dude from Miami, and he's going like, don't do that shit.
No.
And I'm not going to work. I'm not going to do that. No. Because Jeff says, no, I'm not going to do that. And there's like people going on about cold call and email, and Jeff's going, just go to the event down the road and get yourself a few clients. And I'm like, oh, and it's just like have a referral scheme and all that stuff, which has got nothing to do with like ads manager. But in my opinion, is more important than any of that technical stuff at all. Far more important. And yeah, man, like literally that, that early stuff set me up for success down the line, and then the inner circle on top.
So you go to your first in-person networking event, you pay the X dollars, you meet and greet, schmooze, and all that fun stuff. You be a normal person, put on your normal people skin. You're not running around saying, buy my Facebook ads. You're like, hey, I do this thing. They're like, oh my God, that's so cool. Then you get them on Zoom call, you do the onboarding, you do a pitch, they pay you money. Perfect, right? And it's kind of like dating your first girlfriend isn't your best girlfriend. Your first client isn't your forever client. Whatever, no big deal. So you land a hypnotherapist by talking to people in person.
Yeah.
And whether or not the campaign did well, she couldn't continue because of the franchise rules. Fine, whatever, no big deal. Who was your next client?
So I think the next client after that was the e-commerce.
E-commerce lady, right?
E-commerce lady. At this point, everything's coming through groups. I've only ever been to one networking event.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. So now you're spending your time, like the philosophy is like if you're selling crosses, go to a church, like go to where your clients get together, talk about the problems, just be there. Right.
Yeah.
And you got that in person and you're like, I could do it on a Facebook group. So now you're doing that too. So you're just part of like other people's communities. Yeah. Great, fine, perfect. And now you're interacting with them, commenting, solving problems. And then what happens then? Like, you're like, hey, I think I can solve your ecom problem. Or how did you transition from like a Facebook group to like a Zoom call?
So like basically initially I was just sort of like recreating what you would do in person, like you just said, and actually turning that into like using that in like a Facebook group. Mm-hmm. And, and people would, and you have to find there's like some really good groups out there and you have to really dig deep. Do you know what I mean? And there's some real opportunities out there. If you're prepared to put a little bit of work in, you can definitely get clients in Facebook groups all day long.
Yep.
I was doing that and, and people would message you and you'd get on a Zoom call and all the rest of it. But I was finding that I was getting like a lot of tire kickers and stuff like that. There was, it was on and off. And then I kind of came up with this script that basically I could just post into any group and I would just get like 30, 40 messages, like a message break and stuff. So
So now they're messaging you, right? You're part of a community. They're messaging you, right?
Yeah.
And did you then say, so what was that conversation like? Then they message you. Is it like, oh my God, I can't believe this is I'm trying not to like give away your script. You know what I mean? Like, how do you transition from like this is his thing, right? I don't even know what it is. Like, how did you transition from like a messenger to a Zoom call or to a payment? Was it like the same like onboarding pitch? I can solve your problem?
Yeah, this was it, right? Initially, like I was, just literally get them on a Zoom call, because, you don't ask people for money without, at least, giving them a presentation, showing them the value and doing like some onboarding questions, right? It's like punching someone in the face in the street. You just don't right? Like literally. So what I would do is like I'd actually do some of the onboarding docs in Messenger and try and pre-qualify them before we get on the Zoom call, and if they're saying like, I spent like $50 last month and put an advert in my local grocery store, it ain't going to happen, man.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So that's what I was doing.
Very cool. So like, I remember around that time you were saying, didn't you meet somebody from Boston or somebody from America that had like, they're like, we can't take clients under 5K a month, but maybe you could, like that referral thing, you know what I mean? You pay 20%. That's what Jay Abraham talks about. That's how I built my whole agency. That's what you want to do. Like, could you go into that a little bit, like how that happened?
Yeah, again, that was from like a face. Yeah, I tell you something. That was actually from that Jay Abraham book.
Yep.
So there's an amazing book. What's it called, Jeff? Tell everyone.
Shit. It's like how to get Okay, hold on.
How to get everything you ever wanted in your life ever times 20 or something crazy like that, right?
I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna find it right now.
So basically, there's this book, right? I was going away on vacation, and I said to Jeff, "Hey, Jeff, like recommend me like a good book." And he sent me a message with a picture of that, and I was like, "Okay, I'm going to buy it." And I read it, and I tell you what, it is the most amazing book in the world. It's probably the best book I've ever read when it comes to starting a business. And hopefully Jeff can put the link in the comments somewhere or something. And people should definitely jump on Amazon and like buy this book. And it's incredible, right? And I read it. I was on vacation. I read it, and I was like, yeah. Now I see where Jeff, like how he built his agency and some of the fundamental aspects, they're all mentioned in this book about having a guarantee, about having a referral scheme.
Right.
And one of the things in there, one of the key things in there is about passing business between one another, helping each other out. And I had a great idea, like, for example, people who are bookkeepers that look after the accountants of local businesses, right? You could definitely do like a deal with somebody like that to send like people your way for marketing and Facebook ads and stuff. So I posted something along those lines in a group,
Yeah.
in a Facebook business group, and this guy got back to me, some massive agency owner, and he said, like, look, I really love what you wrote there. Like, that's amazing. Let's jump on Zoom and let's have a chat, because I might be able to help you out. So then he started passing me business that he wasn't able to handle, right? Which was like amazing. Which, like, initially it was great, but I could see he was like definitely taking a cut, and then suddenly the money was starting to go down very suddenly after like the first couple of months. And it would start to get quite demanding, and he was like giving me like the weirdest jobs ever. Again, it was just like, you know, hey John, do you reckon you can like advertise this cigar joint in Alabama? And I'm just like, you can't even advertise like tobacco on like Facebook. How the hell am I supposed to do this, man? You know, like real weird stuff, like, these, you know, like RV rentals and like weird, bizarre things.
Yeah.
And the guy was like super demanding. The money kept going down, and in the end, I had to like break pretty much all ties with this dude, man. I was just like, listen, I've got to go. I'm going off track. Like I said to you earlier, I'm going off track now. I need to get back on track again. And that's when I started to develop my own advertising, Facebook ad campaigns, and developing a technique that I could use, a hack, to be able to look at any industry.
So when you started your Facebook ads journey, you were getting networking, saying hi, all that fun stuff. Normal people, like, they were paying you money. That was your start. Cool. And then you're like, all right, I read this book. Maybe referrals are like an easy way to do it. And that worked for a little bit. Cool, fine, perfect. I mean, not everyone's first referral partner is the best one, but you still made money. You still got paid, and you're still trying stuff out. And you're doing it all without free trials, right? So you're making money along the learning curve.
Of course.
Perfect, right? And then you somehow get in touch, or a message from like a carpet cleaner guy or something like that. What was that conversation like?
No, I think at that point I'd started running ads, right?
Okay.
So I'm running. So I've come up with this system. I decided to test it out. In the carpet cleaner industry, and I get basically a guy who essentially I ended up getting a couple of clients. One of those guys turns out is part of a massive franchise in America, one of the biggest in America. I see that as a huge opportunity, and so I actually pitched him at a lower price, because I knew that, you know, if I can get in with this guy and I can like smash it for him, this could open huge doors for me. Absolutely huge doors. So I did that. I told him about the referral scheme, and he said to me, listen, I'm going to like a huge event in Denver. There's going to be hundreds of carpet cleaners there. If you can get me results, he said, that event's coming up at the end of the month. If you get me results, I will like refer you all day long. Turns out this guy's an amazing guy. He's like the most helpful, lovely, amazing guy. Like, he's amazing, top guy. And he loved everything I was doing. He loved the chat bot. He loved, the customer research blew his mind. He's like, oh my God, this is just the best thing ever. Like, and I smashed it for the guy. Like, we got like 42 customer opportunities. We got like 30 of those were like actual paid bookings. We made him like over $3,500 in like 4 weeks. In his second month, within 10 days, we made him $2,500, looking to be $5,000.
Beautiful.
And we started crushing it. So, of course, he's at this conference. He's telling everybody, oh, my God, this guy's agency, this ad agency I've hooked up from London, you've got to speak to this guy. It's amazing. And, of course, he's at the conference and the chatbot's going off on his phone and booking in appointments. And people are going like, what's that? Yeah. He's like, that, like, I've just got another 5-room carpet clean. And here's another one. Oh, and here's another one. And everyone's like, oh, my God. And this guy, you got to understand, Jeff, is from New Jersey. It's freezing there now. It's their off season. Okay. Like, nobody gets their carpet clean at this time of year. Like, it's freezing cold. There's snow gets walked into people's houses. Last year, the guy had 5 jobs the whole of December. He had 7 in January. Suddenly, he's booked out 30 appointments.
Beautiful.
So he's
supposed to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So he is just going wild, right?
So let me backtrack. So you're like, okay, so now I know enough, and I have enough confidence in myself to turn a conversation into a client. I know that I've got some stuff under my belt. I'm learning. I'm getting paid to do it. Cool, fine, perfect. and now you're running ads to get carpet cleaning clients wanting to buy Facebook ads from you, right?
Yeah.
And you developed this like cool little pixel thing that's like, we can't even talk about it, but you've done your thing, right? And now your ad is only hitting carpet cleaners. Cool, great, fine, perfect, right?
Yeah.
And people are hitting your calendar. I want to buy what you have to sell. You send your first client who's part of this really cool franchise. By the way, it's the same franchise I had. And I think you saw that pitch video, right? Like, it's the same franchise, the one that's in Miami, but my guy fucking bombed it. Like, I got him 40 customer opportunities in 3 weeks. He's like, this is great. He bombs all the sales calls. He's overbidding. He fucking sucks at his life, right? And I'm like, all right, John, I can't do this. Take everything and run with it. And you fucking did, right? So you sign this guy. He's like, this is the most amazing thing ever. You blow his mind with customer research. He thinks you're more than just a Facebook ads guy, right? You're building out a bot, so it's not just a name, number, and email, but people fill out a form, right? They have to like choose a time. Is that correct or no?
Yeah, it's like basically a whole integrated booking system in Messenger. You press a button and choose how many rooms you want. There's a calendar that pops up, all that cool stuff. Yeah. Gotcha.
So he's not saying, I got to call everybody back. He's saying, look, I got another booking, right? Yeah. And those leads are much more qualified because they've gone through a lot more stuff. Yeah. You're jumping down. He's jumping up and down. This is the best thing ever. My business has quadrupled when it was supposed to be dead, and now I'm booked out. And then he gets on his fancy ass on a plane, goes all the way to Denver, starts telling the world about you.
Yeah.
And now you are up till 3 a.m. taking these sales calls from people that love you, that have got proof and are writing you checks. And how many dollars worth of proposals have you sent out in the past, 2 weeks or so?
I've sent out, I think, $23,000 worth of proposals in the last 10 days.
Holy shit.
They've all said they're going to pay it by the end of the month. So I've collected $12,000. So I've just got the other 10 or 11 to pick up over the next week or two. Yeah.
Absolutely nuts. Like, I don't know how much you were making before you started, right, with Facebook ads in the inner circle, but holy fuck, man, that's like you're a hair away from $250,000 a year. Like,
honestly, Jeff, literally the last, it's been absolutely mental. I'm still trying. Tomorrow's problem is like, how do I get Facebook to give me this many ad accounts so quickly, right? But that's tomorrow's problem.
That is like absolutely fucking fantastic. Like, I am super psyched for you. Didn't you go on I remember when I was like, John, why are you on vacation? You were like in Italy or something like that, or Poland?
I was in my wife's from Belarus.
Yeah.
We were basically in Poland as well for like a family wedding thing. The family were, something like that.
That was like 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Could you have ever imagined at that wedding or family reunion saying, hey guys, I'm going to do $250,000 next year? Because you might. Holy crap, right? So I'm super psyched for you. You've written like $10,000 or $12,000 worth of business in the past 2 weeks. You've got $10,000 or $12,000 worth of business coming the next week. This is absolutely nuts. It's all built on one person that loves your work, that is seeing the results and getting results, right? Yeah. And you are running an ad similar to what's in the inner circle. You are running customer research that is in the inner circle. You saw a pitch video for a carpet cleaner that's in the inner circle. And you know what I absolutely love the most? He's not a fucking chiropractor. He's not a goddamn gym or even a dentist, right? Like, everybody's going after those three thinking it's like the best thing in the world. It's not. Yeah. Like, there are hundreds of businesses that will gladly pay you more money, that have a lot less competition if all you did was talk to them, right? Yeah. And it absolutely blows my mind. Let's take a little bit of a break. For everybody watching, if you've got any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, ideas for John and on his journey from 0 to 10 and then $10,000 to $25,000 a month, now is the time to ask. I want to say that Chris Trinity must be jelly as shit, right? Because now your agency is bigger than his. Ooh, I'm starting to fight. You know what I mean? But I do want to say it was pretty cool meeting up with you by accident, right? You were just like walking by, right, the restaurant, and then you just jumped in, right?
I was like, shit, that's Jeff Miller in there. I'm going to have to go and say hello, man. So, I went in there and we had a hug, man. It was beautiful. It was like a beautiful bromance, bear hug moment type thing, yeah.
It was you, me, Chris Trinity, Simon Moyner, Bezod, something like that, and Liam. right?
Yeah.
And Liam just closed a $3,300 a month deal over coffee, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I'm so psyched for your future and your success. It's going to be absolutely nuts. Let's see what happens. The book, by the way, for everybody that's asking, is Getting Everything You Can Out of All You've Got by Jay Abraham. There's a link in the chat. Hayden says, killing it. Jerry just bought the book. I didn't know he didn't have it. I was like, Jerry, you're in the fucking industry. You're supposed to have the book, right? Let's see. Diana Burgo says, what type of ads and offer do you use? Is that something you're comfortable sharing?
Yeah, I mean, like basically, it's a slight variation on what Jeff was doing, and it's a carousel ad. So carpet cleaners are really big on like the before and after shots. So it's like 3 or 4 images in the carousel ad, but the first picture is always a picture of the business owner.
Yep.
Yeah, and then basically, yeah, it's that hooked up to a chat bot, and you need to have like an amazing, incredible offer. That's it.
Isn't that crazy? Like you don't need to have any witchcraft or thievery, anything like that. Just what's your best performing offer, and let's make it obvious and explicit. Tell me everything you're doing. And 9 times out of 10, they have that offer on the shelf. They just never thought about it that way. They're just trying to throw stuff on the wall and see what sticks. You can buy them with custom research, and you've got an ad that works out of the gate. Artem says, what budget do you manage for your biggest clients? Like, how much are they spending on Facebook to get those customer opportunities and bookings and things like that?
How much is the ad spend?
Correct.
$600.
So that's it. So they're paying you $1,500 a month on average, and they're spending $600. So their total expenditures, let's just say $2,000 a month. And that's probably like required because they're at a franchise. They have to spend money on marketing, right?
Yeah.
And they're happy to pay you because they're getting an ROI. How fucking cool is that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Diana says, do they book and pay when they click the ad, or do they only book, or do they pay in person, or what is that process like?
Well, I think typically for all carpet cleaners, they pay at the end of the job, right? That's just how the carpet cleaning industry works, you know? So they book, and then the guy turns up, does the work, and they pay at the end.
Perfect. Like a normal business, right?
Yeah.
Like, isn't it crazy? You don't have to be like particularly fancy, right? It's kind of like, here's an ad with a high performing offer based on customer research. That makes sense. Everybody gets it. Totally normal. We get lost in technical details, but that makes total sense. Hey, thanks for clicking on the ad. Let me ask you a couple questions. They fill out the form. It just happens to be in a bot, right? Yeah. And it's like, great. When would you like me to come by? Yeah. And they do all the work. And I'll bet you your guy in Jersey is like a pretty good upseller. So like, it's like $200 from the walk in the door. By the time he's done, it's like $1,200. Yeah, and that's just how carpet cleaning works, right?
That's it. Yeah.
I do want to say one of our boys, Steve Aquino, was like, I was just about to go live in the Inner Circle. I went to Social Media Roundtable and had 4 people and got 4 meetings begging for my help.
Amazing. So, well done, like, Steve.
Absolutely fantastic. Artem says $600 a day. No, it's $600 a month. That would be awesome. $600 a day. And Hannah Gardner says, are they booking right from the ad itself, or is it in the chat bot, or where's that booking process saying come by Tuesday at 3 p.m. happen?
That's it. That's in the bot.
Gotcha. So your guy is saying, I'm getting not just name, number, and emails, but real life human beings going through a lot of stuff. Like, here's the rooms, and here's the size, and here's the home, and gotcha.
Yeah. So the process is like your phone number, your email, how many rooms special offer would you like to go for? And they can choose 2 to 6. What's your preferred date and time for your booking?
Yeah.
Do you have pets? That they ask that question, which is always useful if you're a carpet cleaner.
Yep.
And that's it, right? And then they've made that booking at that point. Then you've got their phone number, you've got their email address, you've got the date and time they want to come round. That's all scheduled into the integrated calendar. You've got your booking, man. That's it.
Isn't it crazy? Like so this is what you've done. You've successfully gotten people to pay for you to learned how to turn a conversation into a client, and with just I don't mean this way it sounds, but like, we're not bot geniuses. You know what I mean? Like, all we do is like drag boxes, right? Yeah. It's just boxes, right? Yeah. And now people are pre-calling, pre-scheduling, and your client absolutely thinks it's fantastic. And Doug asked a question, says the $1,500 fee, that is not including ad spend. That is correct, Doug. It's totally separate. But Zach has a question. The question is, can you elaborate on the customer research and with the same strategy work for e-commerce? So maybe you can like fill in that gap. What does like the customer research like thought process look like? Don't be afraid of like sharing too much. It's totally fine. Just like, what does that customer research process look like?
So yeah, so I can tell the process, Jeff. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
go
okay.
for it.
Yeah. So basically, you put a post up on the client's wall, and it's basically essentially saying to their prospects, their future prospects, that that they want the business to be as great as it can possibly be, and if they'd mind answering a few questions, they click on a link. It takes them to a website where they fill out a short questionnaire. It's like 5 questions based on a guy called Ryan Levasque's book called Ask. He's like one of the top psychologists in America.
Yep.
And then that data gets put into like a spreadsheet type thing, and you can then essentially review that with the client.
Yep.
And ultimately understand, how your prospects tick, how their prospects tick, what, like basically what your potential clients want ultimately.
Right. It's mind blowing. Like the idea of customer research is standard. It's normal. We're supposed to do it. Right. But for some reason, oh man, it just cut it again. Oh, okay. Maybe we're getting there. And for some reason, we've lost the ability to have a normal conversation with a real life human being. Don't know why. Somewhere between Facebook and Instagram, we assume by clicking buttons and dials and dashboards, money's going to shoot to the other side. It doesn't. You have to figure out what a real life human being's needs, wants, fears, and goals, what they tried. 5 questions, you get 95% of the way of unlocking their wallet. So we just run customer research using a Facebook ad to pre-test our campaigns, and it just fucking works. And what's crazier is as soon as you come in saying, we're going to run customer research, they say you are better than any Facebook ads guy I've ever seen.
An analogy that I use, like when I'm pitching to prospects and stuff to hire me or whatever, I say to them, look, all the top multi-billion-dollar businesses, Amazon, Netflix, they spend millions and millions of dollars every single year doing customer research.
Yep.
So they can figure out what their customers want. And I use this analogy. I say, look, Coca-Cola, right, years ago, they spent millions of dollars doing customer research, and they asked their customers, like, what is it that would stop them from buying a can of Coke? And people responded, and they said they wouldn't buy a can of Coke if they were on a diet. So guess what Coca-Cola did? They brought out Coke, right? And they actually used the word Diet Coke because that's that's the language that their customers speak. They use the word diet, not Slim Coke, not that's the word. And ultimately, it's that same principle, basically.
Beautiful. That's so well done. And I do want to say John Williams created his own mini slide deck based upon like what's inside the inner circle. You've got like ads grow business. You've got a double guarantee, and like it absolutely is fantastic. Like I remember you showed me, I was like, fucking well done. Like perfect. Like the student has surpassed the teacher. So I'm super psyched for you. Corin says, I worked with a carpet cleaner that wasn't charging enough to have money for marketing. Do you find that these carpet cleaners are or are not charging enough for this to be a long-term thing for you? Or have you not run into that problem at all with your carpet cleaner?
The number one thing that I've learned in the last few weeks, and the big eye opener for me, and this isn't just about like carpet cleaners, it's in general. One big tip and hint that I can give to people and a bit of advice is that go after like franchise businesses, like literally businesses that are part of a franchise. Some of them have rules in terms of like marketing, but some of them don't. And if you can get some which are quite relaxed, and the franchisee is allowed to hire their own independent marketer in, like go after those, because ultimately, number one, these guys have had to spend like thousands of dollars to invest and open that franchisee location. That's the first thing, right? This isn't like a carpet cleaner that's just bought a secondhand van down the road and, like a secondhand bit of carpet cleaning equipment off of eBay. And he's got like a little ad running in the back pages of his local newspaper. To be part of a franchise, you have to invest thousands of dollars, and you have to have a marketing budget. It's like part of the rules, right? And every single person that I've spoken to in the last 2 weeks, they're spending minimum $1,000 on Google. A guy that paid me just 2 days ago, who I pitched, who signed up with me, was spending $4,000 on Valpak. That's just like junk mail that comes in the post. that you throw away. That's that really crappy, shitty junk mail and he's spending $4,000. So when I come up on the screen and say, look, I'm going to do customer research, Facebook ad, messenger, automated messenger system, a chatbot for you. I'm going to do, I'm going to do all this stuff. I'm doing you an email campaign, soap opera sequence. You're going to get strategy calls with me and consultation every 2 weeks. And I'm not charging you $1,500. The guy's like, whoa.
Oh.
And then literally he pays me on the call right there and then, because it's like, he's used to paying $4,000.
Wasn't there a guy, like, you were on the phone call with him and it was a FaceTime or something like that, and he's talking with you and he puts you in the car, he starts driving, picks up his family, picks up his friends, and then you're like, well, this call is done. I didn't get this. Didn't he he was like, yeah, how much and when can I pay you? Like, wasn't it like,
crazy.
That was like crazy. I just remember that.
Like he basically, we were on Zoom and he was on his mobile phone. He literally got up out of the seat of his kitchen, got in his car, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh, this is a bit weird, but gets in the car, starts driving down the freeway, and I'm like, oh my God, dangerous. Like, I really don't feel comfortable with this. And more importantly, like, he's obviously, he's clearly not paying full attention to what I'm saying. And I'm like, this is just going downhill very, very fast. And then when it couldn't get any worse, his wife and kids got in the car. And they start like jumping all over him, and the phone's going everywhere, and his kids screaming. And I'm thinking, I'm going to be on the next episode of Cops in a minute. Do you know what I mean? Like, literally, they're going to pull him over. And, this is crazy. But so in the end, I just cut to the chase. Said, look, do you want me to tell you how much it is? He was like, yeah, man, tell me how much it is. I was like, yeah, it's like $1,500. Is that all? I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, I'll pay you. No worries. I was like, wow.
Perfect. That's so awesome.
Yeah, man, that's a funny story.
Michael Myers, well, that's literally his name. I like the okay. That's the guy's. That's the question. He says, does it go into a Google Sheet? What they fill out? They use something called Airtable, and it goes into something like Google Sheet. So that's pretty close and correct. So Corinne, the answer to your question is you can't squeeze blood from a stone. They're not willing to spend money on marketing. It's going to be impossible for them to spend money on marketing with you. Go after businesses that are already spending money on marketing and beat the shit out of the marketing they're already spending money on. Like, if there's a client or customer spending $4,000 a month on Valpak with just a fucking flyer that's getting junked, that doesn't have a guarantee, that doesn't have a conversation, that won't write ads or do customer research, you can come and bid half, and they're going to buy what you have to sell. Jamie says, what bot service are you using?
I built the bot myself, but I use ManyChat.
Perfect. Diana says, who are you targeting? Is it everybody? Is it custom? Is it detailed targeting? How does that work for you?
Email list and lookalike audience of the email list is like absolute killer. And the better what I'm seeing is the better the longer the email list, the more data, the better. However, one really cool tip is that once you get 100 subscribers on your chatbot, you can then download that list and load that and do a lookalike audience of that. And then that is when the thing becomes like a heat-seeking missile. Yeah.
I'm like, what's like super weird is that like the advantage of this and the way you're getting results isn't by being technically proficient. You don't need a PhD in this shit. You just have to put in the effort, right? I mean, bots are always frustrating, but you don't need a huge bot course to get your intended result with a bot. No. You don't need to know everything about Facebook ads. I don't know anything about carousel ads. I don't know anything about Canva ads. I don't know anything about like 90% video retargeting on 3 stages of funnel type crap. Like, no. Get your intended result, get your client's phone ringing, and they will pay you money. It just so happens that we're using Facebook ads and bots to do it, which is pretty darn cool. Michael Fallon mentions something about Ryan Levasque. Perfect. Apparently doing a webinar in 30 minutes. I highly recommend it. I got his book. It's fantastic, right? Everybody's asking about customer research, mini modules, all that stuff. There's a link to the inner circle. I highly suggest you join. You can see behind the scenes of John's campaign and root him on as he goes from 10K to 25K. But is there anything else that you want to add, John, before we move into the strategy sessions and things like that?
No, I think that's pretty much everything, right? Go after, like, literally, look out there for franchises, because the other really good thing about franchises are that basically they have their own channels where they communicate with each other. They have their own conferences, their own expos, their own private Facebook groups, their own forums that they all help each other out in. A bit like the inner circle or something like that, you know, where if you've just joined the franchise and you've just taken on a location and you need help with your marketing and stuff like that, where you can go and ask for tips and advice. So if you've signed somebody that's part of that franchise and you've crushed it for them, then like that's a really great way then to get loads of business really quickly, because that guy's going to recommend you.
Yep.
You can loads of clients.
You just need one person.
That's
just
it.
need one person. Right?
One person, sign them cheap, smash it, and then basically pump up the price.
Perfect. So we're coming down to the last 15 minutes or so. So we're going to bring the segment to an end. John has volunteered to do a 15-minute strategy session with 3 people. It'll be one group call for next week after he's done making an extra $12,000 or so. So John will be picking 3 people who reply back or hashtag carpet my face. Let's just do that, right? Sure, why not? Just make this stuff up on the fly. It's embarrassing how I can't edit this out later, but whatever. So hashtag carpet my face.
Sorry, like literally somebody's booking an appointment right now in the chat bot. As I speak now. There we go.
Absolutely insane. So that means that your guy is in Denver talking about you, and then they're going to your bot or your page and then filling out a form. Is that correct?
Sorry, say that again. You lost me.
Does that mean your guy in Denver is talking about you and he's saying, go fill out John's form and talking to him?
No. One of my clients is getting a carpet clean booking.
Gotcha.
They're in Denver now. The conference was like last month. That's gone.
Gotcha. Isn't that so cool? Like,
yeah,
shit works.
Booking. The guy is like, but someone is booking a 5-room house clean right now. There we go.
Perfect. That's how it's supposed to be. All right, so we got a lot of people that want to carpet your face. So John and I will figure out the best 3 people to get on a group call with. Do not PM John. He will not respond. He's too busy making money. Deal with it. I'll connect the 3 of you to him. I'll figure it out. But last call for any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, ideas. Somebody says, I don't understand what Lookalike Audience means. John, maybe you can help them figure it out.
Yeah, so basically when you upload, like say, for example, an email list into your audience, when you're programming the ads manager, you can select what's called a lookalike audience. And that what Facebook will do, it'll look at all the data in your email list and it will go and find people similar to those people in your email list.
Easy enough. Let's see. Michael Myers says, do carousel ads work better than video ads? I'll take this one. Michael Myers, you're asking the wrong question, and I hate it when people respond to me that way, but that's essentially it. If you're saying, does carousel ad work better than video ad, you should really be saying, what offer and what message is my video ad communicating, and what offer and what message is my carousel ad communicating? If you're having a challenge where your video ad isn't converting or getting your intended result, it's probably not a scenario where if I just switched out the video and put a carousel ad, all of a sudden it would be working. Right? It's probably a bigger problem, as in you haven't done any custom research to figure out if your ad is going to work before you do it. You're probably just throwing stuff on the wall and seeing what sticks and hoping that it works, when you really should be saying, let's go back to like the root cause of the problem, run custom research, and then figure out what we should put in the ad. Once you've done that, you can drop in a video, a carousel, a single image. It doesn't matter. But what matters is you've done custom research that writes an ad, and then you're going to get your intended result. So the answer is, does video or carousel work? It's a bad question to ask, right? It's usually based upon the offer and the custom research, tribal language, stuff like that. There's so many people that want to talk to you. This is so cool. We have 2 people that said, do you get a percentage of sales, or is that in your future at all?
I haven't even thought about that.
No. Think about it soon, right?
Thanks for the advice. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, right. It'll be cool.
Yeah.
So you joined 6 months ago, brand new agency, wasn't sure what to do. You're getting your first batch of in-person clients. Usually people say just do free trials. Not going to work. You're getting paid. Then you found a referral person who's paying you, right? Yep. And then you figured out, okay, I know enough about how to turn a conversation into a client. I can start running paid ads. And that's why I don't say run paid ads in the beginning, because you're just going to waste money that you don't have. Get some training wheels going. You know what I mean? And now you're running carpet cleaning ads. You got one guy, you got him the results that he expect, and he's just sent you like $20,000 worth of business. Holy fuck, right? Your wife is, I'm going to get her a shirt. Like when you hit 20K, you're both going to wear that shit and take a photo, right?
Absolutely.
This is so cool. All right. It's time to boogie. I'm trying to be respectful of his time. John, it's been an absolute pleasure. I think it's super awesome. I love to see how you're not just like listening, but you're getting yelled at, you're fucking up, and then you're doing it correctly. Like that's the journey, right? You have to get hit a couple times, which is what you did. And you came out winning, which is like, that's how you're supposed to do this, right?
You got to love the journey as well. That one of the things that I'll say is like, you know what, like for everything that's happened, I've absolutely loved the journey, the hard times, the difficult times, the amazing times, the times when you want to smash your computer up, all of those times, absolutely loved it. And it's an amazing journey to be on, man. It's absolutely incredible. Absolutely
fantastic. I'm going to message you. I'm going to give you some time because it's like 9 o'clock in England. I'm going to message you tomorrow. We're going to figure out the 3 people to talk to. But that's it, everybody. This has been John Williams, who's landing carpet cleaning clients in the United States while living in London, and grew his agency from 0 to 10K to 15K. And probably by the end of February, it'll be at 25K. I'm super psyched for you. That's the end of the interview. Kick ass, take some names, go make a fuck ton of money. John, great time. I'll catch you soon.